Systematic risk. Why some risks can't be avoided. John is feeling incredibly confident. He has taken the free lunch of diversification and run with it. His portfolio is no longer just about his custom keyboard business. He now owns small slices of a local coffee chain, a renewable energy startup, a shipping giant, and even a company that makes high-tech medical devices. He looks at his diversified collection of assets and thinks that he has finally outsmarted the concept of risk. In his mind, he has built an unsinkable ship. If the keyboard market crashes, the medical company will keep him afloat. If the coffee chain fails, the energy startup will carry the weight. John feels invincible. He believes that if he just keeps adding more and more unrelated businesses to his list, the total risk will eventually hit zero, leaving him with nothing but pure, guaranteed profit. But one Monday morning, John wakes up to see a sea of red on his financial dashboard. It's not just his keyboard business that's down. The coffee chain has plummeted. The shipping giant stock is tanking. Even this safe medical device company is losing value fast. John is panicked. He checks the news and sees that the central bank has unexpectedly raised interest rates to combat rising inflation. Suddenly, the unsinkable ship is taking on water from every side. John is confused. He did everything right. He diversified. He spread his eggs into 20 different baskets. Why is everything breaking at the exact same time? As John dives back into his academic guides by Brealey, Myers, and Marcus, he discovers a hard truth. He has encountered systematic risk. While diversification is a powerful tool, it has a limit. John has successfully eliminated specific risk, the danger of a single company failing due to its own bad luck. But he has now hit the floor of the market. Systematic risk, or market risk, is the danger that comes from the entire environment in which all businesses breathe. When interest rates rise, it becomes more expensive for every company to borrow money. When the economy enters a recession, consumers have less money to spend on everything, from keyboards to coffee. These are macro factors. They don't care how many stocks John owns because they affect the entire system simultaneously. To understand his new reality, John needs a way to measure how much he is exposed to this unavoidable market storm. This is where he meets the concept of beta. Beta is a numerical value that describes a stock's sensitivity to the overall market. Think of the market as a giant wave in the ocean. The market itself has a beta of 1.0. If John owns a stock with a beta of 1.0, he is essentially riding a surfboard that moves exactly with the height of the wave. If the market wave rises by 10%, John's stock rises by 10%. If the wave crashes, John crashes just as hard. But not every stock reacts the same way. John looks at his high-tech energy startup and realizes it has a beta of 1.8. This is an aggressive stock. It's like John is riding that same market wave, but on a jet-powered surfboard. When a market goes up, his startup zooms ahead, gaining nearly double what the market does. But when a market wave drops, the crash is twice as violent. On the other end of the spectrum, John looks at his medical device company and sees a beta of 0.6. This is a defensive stock. It's like he's in a heavy, stable boat. When the market wave tosses everyone around, his boat moves much less. He doesn't gain as much during the sunny days, but he doesn't sink as deep during the storms. John realizes that while he can't avoid the market wave entirely, he can choose how sensitive his portfolio is to it. If he is worried about the economy, he might move more of his money into low-beta stocks. If he is feeling bold about the future, he might hunt for high-beta opportunities. But the most important lesson for John is this. For a diversified investor, beta is the only measure of risk that actually matters. He used to worry about the standard deviation or the total volatility of each individual stock. But now he sees that the unique part of that volatility gets washed away in a large portfolio. What remains is the beta, the systematic risk that he is being paid to take. This changes John's entire perspective on the reward of investing. He is no longer just looking for good companies. He is looking at how much market sensitivity he is willing to carry. He understands that the market doesn't give you extra points for taking risks that you could have easily diversified away. The market only rewards you for taking the risks that nobody can avoid. By accepting a certain amount of systematic risk, John is essentially agreeing to be a part of the global economy, for better or for worse. He realizes that his unsinkable ship was never meant to stay perfectly still. It was meant to survive the ocean's natural tides. With this new understanding of beta and market risk, John adjusts his expectations. He is no longer surprised when the whole world moves at once. Instead, he looks at his portfolio's average beta and knows exactly how much his ship will tilt when the next big wave hits. He is no longer a confused spectator of the economy. He is a calculated participant, navigating the unavoidable currents of the global stage with a clear, mathematical compass.